The latest Pompey news, updates every day from the Pompey Sound news desk.
John Messina's recent public statement of intent that he sometimes tells lies continues to catch not only the opposition by surprise, but many Pompey fans into the bargain. A good example came on Saturday with the presence of two injured stalwarts, lending to speculation that they both will be fit and well for Watford and Southampton. Although Marlon Pack was not risked on the bench, he made his presence felt after the game, joining in the Pompey players paying tribute to the travelling fans. Alongside Pack, with other quilted Pompey staff and officials patting the backs, exchanging high fives and swapping hugs as the players finally headed off to the dressing room. Alongside them was Josh Murphy, also wearing a dark knee-length quilted coat, and on his right foot what appeared to some fans to be a black, almost camouflaged surgical boot. Many fans were alarmed, but a smaller number pointed out that it could be yet another piece of John Messina trademark huff and bluff.
Really interesting, isn't it? Is he playing mind games again? Are the opposition, Watford and Southampton, there in the offing? Are they going to be sitting down trying to work out how they're going to counter Pompey's attacking force, which with Murphy in it is considerably greater than without Murphy in it? Are they going to be having to have Plan A if Murphy plays and Plan B if Murphy doesn't play? It complicates things for them. It adds to their tension and stress. The backroom staff who do the analysis are going to have to go to their respective head coaches, managers, and say, this is the likelihood, percentage terms, of Josh Murphy being on the pitch. In which case we need to double up on him and try to prevent those telling crosses getting into Colby Bishop. This is how we do that. On the other hand, he might not be playing because he might be still injured. What they're going to be looking at is the footage that appears to show the footage of Josh Murphy as he's congratulating each of the Pompey players as they come off, having got that 1-0 win at Sheff Wed. And there is clearly a slight difference between what appears to be a conventional trainer that he's wearing on his left foot and whatever it is he's wearing on his right foot. But here's the thing, you see, the backroom boys and girls at Watford and at Southampton are going to be saying, but hang on, this footage is being taken by somebody from Pompey. And they're showing it. They're showing full length Josh Murphy. They're showing the foot. They're showing the boot. Not in close-up, just full length, what they call a John Wayne close-up, full length, right? He liked to have his full height noted by the camera wherever possible, John Wayne. And he also liked to make sure that his 6-gun strapped to his hip was seen as well. So John Wayne close-up came to be what they called a full-length moving picture of him. And that's what we had with Josh Murphy. So they didn't get in close. I guess some people will be able to zoom in and have a look at the footage. There's only one bit of footage that I was able to find that identified the foot, the boot, the alleged boot, maybe the not boot, maybe the boot that was worn in order to pull the wool over the eyes of Watford. You see what's going on here? It's brilliant. It's just getting under their skin. The very fact that John Messina tries to do these things and sometimes gets away with it, and we'll never know sometimes whether he's got away with a blatant lie or whether circumstances have simply caught him by surprise, which throws the other team off in their attempts to micro-organise their encounter with Pompey. Brilliant and fascinating.
Up north, the Courier is carrying this story. Quote, Dundee have rejected a bid from Portsmouth for in-demand central defender Luke Graham. Aberdeen are among a host of clubs to have been linked with the Scotland under-21 international, but the Dark Blues are reportedly holding out for a 7-figure fee for player. Following reports of a 6-figure bid being lodged by Portsmouth for Graham, D-boss Stephen Pressley confirmed a bid had been turned down. Speaking following his side's 2-1 win in the Scottish Cup at Kilmarnock on Saturday, the Dundee manager told the Courier, I know there's been a bid rejected, I would imagine so. I think you'll see by his performance today that he's an outstanding young player and we aren't surprised with the attention as a club. We've worked exceptionally hard with that kid. The development programme around him has been immense, and if he was to go, it would have to be a really high figure.
Luke Graham, he clearly has got something, the lad, so let's just dig into his background.
Luke Graham, born the 11th of February 2004, is a Scottish professional footballer who plays as a defender for Scottish Premiership side Dundee. He has also had previous loan spells with Loughshire United, Albion Rovers, Montrose and Falkirk. Born in Scone, Graham was scouted as a kid by local club St Johnstone, and spent several years there before leaving after having issues with coaches, and later joining Dundee's youth setup. In 2021, Graham joined Midlands League side Loughshire United on a season-long loan. He would have a standout season for the Chi, winning the East Region League Cup with them, and finishing third in the league. In April 2022, Graham would make headlines after it was reported he was set for a trial with Sheffield United. It was reported the following day that he was also being scouted by several bigger clubs such as Celtic, Rangers and Arsenal. Despite being offered a second trial by Sheffield United, Graham signed an extension with Dundee in May which would keep him there for another season. On the 30th of September 2022, Graham joined Scottish League Two side Albion Rovers on loan. He would make his debut the following day. Graham would score his first goal for the club in his second appearance, in a league win over Bonnyrigg Rose Athletic. On the 1st of September 2023, Graham joined Scottish League One club Montrose on loan until January 2024. Graham made his debut the following day as a substitute in a league win away to Queen of the South. Graham scored his first goal for the Gable Endies on the 4th of November 2023, in a big league win away to Edinburgh City. After a successful first half of the season, Graham's loan to Montrose was extended until the end of the season. Graham had a strong season at Links Park and was awarded both the Loanee and Young Player of the Year awards for Montrose at the end of the season. After successful loan spells, Dundee announced on the 28th of May 2024 that Graham had been promoted to the first team squad and had signed a contract extension to stay with the club until 2027. Graham made his competitive debut for the Dark Blues on the 23rd of July as substitute in a Scottish League Cup group stage win over Annan Athletic. He made his first start for the D 4 days later in a 6-0 demolishing of Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Graham made his league debut for Dundee in a notable fixture, starting at Tannadice Park in a Dundee derby. On the 20th of September 2024, Graham joined Scottish Championship club Falkirk on loan until the end of the season. Graham made his debut for the Bairns on the 28th of September, in a league game away to Raith Rovers. On the 28th of December, as a result of injuries at his parent club and a successful loan spell with Falkirk which saw them top of the table for Christmas, Dundee announced that they would recall Graham from Falkirk at the beginning of January. Just like his league debut with Dundee, Graham made his second league start after returning from loan in a Dundee derby. On the 4th of February 2025, Graham returned to Falkirk on loan until the end of the season. On the 2nd of May 2025, Graham started for the Bairns in a 3-1 home win over Hamilton Academical, which confirmed Falkirk as winners of the 2024-25 Scottish Championship and their promotion to the Scottish Premiership. On the 26th of July 2025, Graham scored his first goal for Dundee in a League Cup group stage win over Montrose. On the 13th of September, Graham scored his first league goal for the D to earn a point against Motherwell.
There are a couple of interesting oddities about Luke Graham, if the internet has got its facts right. First of all, that he left a club as a youngster because he had disagreements with the coaches. If that's correct, that's interesting. If it's not correct, what's it doing there? He's a very youthful-looking 21-year-old, almost looks 12. And the fact that Wikipedia, for the only source that gives his physical details, says that he's under 5'10", suggests that he's not your typical central defender, or that he's being groomed as a holding midfield player, or that they didn't measure him correctly when they asked him to stand up against the kitchen wall and put a mark on the paintwork. 5'10" is just not, it's very unusual for a central defender. But the images that are available of him show a fit, strong, lean, very well balanced, intelligent looking player, and one that Dundee want to make as much money from as they can, claiming already, and this is early on to be making these kind of claims, that a large part of the success and capabilities as well as the potential of Luke Graham is down to their methods.